How can you exploit a center control imbalance? Have you ever wondered how to turn the tables when your opponent has a stronger grip on the center of the chessboard? Understanding center control imbalances can give you the tools to exploit those situations effectively. Let's break it down step by step. First, let's clarify what a center control imbalance is. This occurs when one player has a stronger presence in the central squares, typically d4, d5, e4, and e5. When you find yourself in this situation, your goal is to maximize your positional advantages while targeting your opponent's weaknesses. One effective strategy is to target weaknesses created by your opponent's center setup. If they have committed too many pieces or pawns to the center, this can lead to isolated or backward pawns. For instance, if your opponent has an isolated pawn on d4, you can place a knight on d5. This knight becomes a strong outpost that is hard to dislodge, allowing you to control more of the board. Another way to exploit a center control imbalance is through pawn breaks. These are moves that aim to open or destabilize the center. If your opponent has pawns on d4 and e5, consider playing c5 or f5 at the right moment. This can force them to either exchange pawns, weakening their structure, or lose central control altogether. Once the center opens up, you can take advantage of the resulting open lines and diagonals. If you have better piece development, your rooks can occupy open files, and your bishops or queens can use long diagonals to create pressure. This is especially effective if you have less central control but better piece activity. If you find yourself with more space in the center, use that to restrict your opponent's pieces. This can force their pieces into passive squares, making it easier for you to coordinate an attack or improve your position over time. When you have a strong center, consider trading pieces. This often benefits you because your pawns and pieces control key squares, while your opponent's pieces become less effective. Simplifying the position can help convert your spatial advantage into a winning endgame. Lastly, be aware that sometimes center control can be deceptive. If your opponent can easily challenge your central pawns, your control may not be as solid as it seems. Always assess whether your moves might weaken your center or create weaknesses elsewhere. In practical terms, during openings and middle games, evaluate the pawn structure and piece placement in the center. Plan your pawn breaks and piece maneuvers carefully to challenge your opponent's control. Look for outposts behind their central pawns and use open files and diagonals created by exchanges to increase your pressure. Understanding how to exploit center control imbalances can turn the tide in your favor. By targeting weaknesses, improving piece activity, and controlling critical squares, you can convert small advantages into concrete gains.